seat on the couch. Welcome as we talk about everything under the sun. You only live once, so I live my empowered life. Welcome to the charging station. No matter what you're facing, you can join the conversation. Yeah, at the charging station. What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Charging Station podcast. It's your girl, Tracey Massey of Living My Empowered Life. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, what's up? Okay, so you just have to imagine me like twerking at my desk. Twerking behind this microphone, okay? Hi. If you're new here, welcome. Welcome to the Couchy Couch. Make sure you take your shoes off. You know, there's no shoes in the house. Make yourself comfortable. I hope that you return. If you are a returning listener, you know I love me some of you. I love all y'all, but it's just something about y'all that return and listen every week. I appreciate you. But I need everybody to go ahead and follow us on the socials. You can find me at Living My Empowered Life on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Threads, and Facebook. I got it. I got it this week. Also, whatever platform you are listening to this podcast on, please be sure to subscribe and or follow, whatever the instructions require you to do. Make sure that you rate. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts, you can rate and leave a review, because what you guys don't realize is when you rate and leave reviews, all of those things help to get the podcast out to more people. Hold on, I got a cough. Excuse me. Ooh, okay. So when you rate and leave reviews, that helps push the podcast out to more people. And also, you can leave me a text message. If you look down in the show notes, there's a link that says, hey, text me or leave me a message or something like that. Make sure that you just text me. Let me know how we're doing. Let me know what you like about the show. If you have any podcast topics you want us to discuss, if you have any guests that you think would be a good fit for the show, let me know, because this is an interactive podcast. So yeah, you can participate even though you're not here in the studio with me. All right, so let's get into it, because I don't want to be before you long, and you know that I got stuff to do. Actually, I'm going to go home and take a nap. I haven't been sleeping well the last couple of weeks, y'all. I don't know what's going on. I think it's a level of excitement that I have going on. It's a lot going on in my life. I have a full-time 9-to-5, and there's a lot of transitions that are happening in my 9-to-5, and we got open enrollment. Like, if you're not in the U.S., we have insurance through work, and this time of year is when what we call open enrollment. And what happens is you go through, look at your insurance plans, and you pick one. You pick your plans, and it can be a little stressful. So that's going on. And then it's just coming down to the end of the year, trying to tie up loose ends, or, I don't know about you, but I set goals at the beginning of the year. I'm just kind of like looking to see where I am, what kind of progress I've made. And that's actually a great segue into what my topic is for today. I am on a journey. I'm calling it Fit, Fine, and Fabulous by 50. And my goal is to lose 100 pounds and or be in the best shape of my life by the time I turn 50. At the time of the recording of this podcast, I am a wonderful age of 48. And so I will turn 50 in 2026. So I'm recording this podcast in 2024. So that gives me a year and some change before I have to hit 50. And so I set this goal because I just let myself go. Let me just be honest. I just let myself go. I wasn't taking care of myself mentally, physically, financially, spiritually, like all of that stuff. It was just like, boom. I was so concerned about taking care of other people that I was neglecting myself. I was not practicing what I preach. I admit it. Like, you all are going to hear me say this a lot. I can talk about myself. I can't talk about you. Okay. So I was letting myself go. And I've realized that when one area of my life isn't good, it affects all of the areas of my life in some kind of way. So I'm like, you know what, girl, get it together. So I strategically set goals throughout the year for different areas of my life. So, like with the podcast, we talk about all things faith, family, friends, and fun. And I started to look at my life that way in those pillars, those categories. Like what areas can I improve upon to make turning 50 a celebration instead of me being depressed? I remember turning 30 and it was just, I was so depressed. Now, granted, my daughter died when I turned 30. So, like, I turned 30 in March. That April, she was gone. So, it was literally turning 30. And then by April, a few weeks after my birth, actually 3 weeks, 4 weeks after my 30th birthday, my daughter was gone. Jesus. So my 30s, it was hard. They were really, really hard. It was really, really dark. I was in a deep depression, robotic, all of this stuff. I started to turn the corner when I was 40. And I'm actually enjoying my 40s a lot more than I did my 30s. And it's like God is restoring and redeeming the time because I am the clearest I have been since I can remember. Like my mental health is just good, so good. Socially, I'm doing well. Financially, spiritually, like everything is going at full throttle. But it's not because I haven't done the work. And so I've been very intentional about making my the latter days of my life, because I don't know how much life I have ahead of me. But what I do know is that the life that I have prior to this moment in time right now is gone. I can't get that back. And so I can't dwell on the past. I can learn from it and I can grow from it. So my intention now is to learn and grow from things of my past and recover all, or recover as much as I can. Whatever the Lord wants from me, that's what I'm going after. So I'm intentionally doing things that are making this journey to 50 more enjoyable. And so I'm just going to share some of those things with you in the hopes that inspires whomever. That's what I do here on the charging station. And whether you're turning 50, whether you're turning 80, whether you're turning 21, whatever age you're turning, I pray that you find something inspirational in what I'm doing. Okay. So I have been doing things, basically the stuff that I didn't get to do as a kid, I'm doing them now. And it's been so fun. It's like I have this childlike faith and I'm really enjoying life. Like, this is the first time I'm actually really living, like living. And I'm enjoying every moment of it. Now, there are some hiccups along the way. There's some ups and downs. But having this outlet of doing things that I didn't get to do as a kid has been such a great release. I can't even put into words how joyful it makes me. So a few things that I'm doing, and y'all don't judge me because I don't know how to do this stuff. You may know how to do it and it may be easy to you, but what I'm going to share is some things that I just didn't get to do as a kid. I didn't learn, whatever. So I've shared before, especially in an episode entitled Just Keep Swimming. I took swim lessons. And the reason why I did it was because I didn't know how to swim. And you can go back and listen to that episode and I go into further detail as to why. But when I tell y'all the pride that I feel for accomplishing this goal and conquering a fear, I'm like, girl, you really can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Like, you just do the darn thing. So my goal was to be able to swim by my trip in November. So I'm taking a big trip in November. It's an international trip. If you follow me on the socials, I'll share where I am. And I may do a podcast episode. I don't know. Probably not. I don't know. But I'm taking an international trip in November. It's a place that I have been dreaming about going. Like, so I have a travel vision board, and it's all of the places that I want to visit. And so I get to check this one off the list. and I'm looking forward to it. The circumstances of how the trip changed, I talked about in a previous episode. I'll just share it right quick. It was a trip that I had planned for my ex boyfriend's birthday. And so we broke up. And I shared this in an episode double X. So go back and listen to that. You can hear that story. But we broke up. And I was like, you know what? I'm still going on this trip. Because it's so, the planning that I did for this trip and the detail that I put in this trip, I was like, I have never done this for myself, but I did this to celebrate him. Like, so flip it. I'm celebrating me now. And I'm so excited because it is going to be so luxurious. It's going to be so peaceful and tranquil because the place that I'm going, they have a lot of party resorts and everything. But the resort where I'm going, it's like a wellness spa type resort. So it's boutique. It's very small. It's very tranquil. It's like it's on the island, but it's like in a cove. So it's just really, really peaceful. And I've been looking at the pictures every single day because at the time of the recording of this podcast, I got 29 days. I'm excited. So my goal for taking swim lessons was I wanted to be able to swim by the time I get to this trip. And I have reached that goal. So I am super excited about being able to go into the ocean and just float. I'm super excited about being able to get into the pool and go into the deep end and not be worried about me drowning. I'm so excited. And all I'm packing is swimming suits and sundresses. That's it, because I'm planning on being in the water, okay? All right. So that was one of my goals. And I've shared this before, but my therapist has given me another goal, and that was for me to find a hobby. And the caveat to that with this hobby is I am not allowed to turn that hobby into a business. So my hobby, I was trying to figure out, well, what is it that I enjoy? What can I do? Blah, blah, blah. And I stumbled upon this floral arrangement class. And I went to this floral arrangement class and was amazed at what my hands created in this class. Now, granted, the instructor was there, but she gave us the fundamentals on how to arrange flowers, and she gave us lessons on the types of flowers we were using and how to open up roses, how to make your flowers last longer. And the finished product, I was like, yo, I like this. This is relaxing because it used a part of my creative brain. And it was also calming for me because I could really take my time and not have to worry about, well, this is tied to money. I got to make sure that I check all the boxes, dot all my I's, cross all my T's, so I can make sure that whoever gets this is happy with whatever I produce. So I understand why my therapist gave me that assignment, that challenge. So floral arrangement has been my thing. I love having flowers in my house. So instead of just going to the flower shop and like, hey, picking out a pre-made bouquet or arrangement, I can go to the farmer's market, or there's flower shops here in Charlotte where you can go and pick your stems and just create something beautiful. And of course, I've had people ask me to make floral arrangements for them, and I'm like, no, I can't. Like this is just my creative space. So that has been giving me joy, and I never thought that arranging flowers would do that for me, but here we are. And when I was a little girl, I love taking pictures, whether I'm behind the camera or in front of the camera. And so I thought, well, maybe since I love taking pictures and I love seeing the beauty in a photograph and seeing a story being told in a photograph, maybe I should take up photography. And so I'm looking for a class now that I can enroll in and just learn the basics, learn the different textures in the photography, learn the different lighting, editing, things like that. Now, granted, I can use editing in my creative life, but doing photography, I just want that outlet. So I have a little camera that I ordered offline. It's just like this no name, no brand kind of camera, but it's a vlogging camera. So I'm learning how to use it. So when I get the big dog, like if I, once I move up to like a Canon or a Nikon or whatever, see, I don't even know what the best photography cameras are and the lenses and things like that. As I progress, I'll move up. But for right now, as a beginner, I got this little camera and it'll work just fine. So I'm looking forward to that and just having little outlets here and there are free for me to create and there's no pressure, And one of my goals for this journey to 50 has been doing things that have no pressure behind it. These are just outlets for me to be free because I don't get to do that a lot. I'm either at work or coaching. Well, I'm not coaching like I used to anymore. But, adults. I'm doing adult stuff. So these are just outlets to where I can just be free and let my imagination be creative and be able to sit down and hear God a little more clearly, like things like that. So that's that. So one of my priorities on this road to 50 is my mental health. And so I posted on my personal Facebook page a few weeks ago that I think I'm going to incorporate more mental health days in 2025. And the thing about posting stuff like that on social media, people tend to think that something's wrong or you need advice or things like that. And like, no, that's not it. I was just saying it to be saying it. And in a way, here's the thing, y'all. Once I post something on social media, it's already done. like it's already done. So by the time I said, I think I'm going to incorporate more mental health days in 2025, I'd already done it. So I've already gone through my calendar for 2025 and I have not etched in stone, but put on my calendar my self-care weekends for one, because once a month I take a self-care weekend where I do nothing or I do things that bring me joy. And sometimes doing nothing is bringing me joy, but I have my self-care weekends already scheduled. But I also have extra mental health days because here's the thing, doing stuff on the weekends is great, but everybody's out and about. There is something about doing things on a weekday when most people are at work and kids are in school. It's a piece that goes beyond my own understanding. So I've incorporated some mental health days throughout the months of 2025 that I feel like are just going to enhance my mental health even the more. And my plan is to be outside most of those times. So when the weather gets nice, that's the great thing about living in North Carolina. We experience all of the seasons. So there are a lot of places that I can go for the day. Like being in Charlotte is great because I have the mountains that are like a 2-hour drive. I have the beach that is like a 3/4 hour drive. So I'm right in the middle of everything. I can take a day trip and just enjoy that day, that mental health day. So I'm incorporating a lot of those things and it'll just cost me some gas because it costs me nothing. Like I don't have to go to the beach and rent a room unless I want to. I can literally get up early in the morning, drive for the day, and then drive back that evening. And same for the mountains. Praying for Western North Carolina right now because I love being in the mountains and they are still recovering from Hurricane Helene, at least at the time of the recording of this podcast. But going to the mountains is one of my favorite things. And the beaches and the mountains are two places where I feel God the most. So yeah, that adds to not only my mental health, but my spiritual health because I can sit there with my journal and just look over the mountain ridges and see all the beautiful leaves and the trees, or I can be on the beach journaling and praying and seeing the waves crash and the smell of the sea. I'm looking forward to that so very much, so very, very much. So incorporating more mental health days is another goal of mine. Also, getting fit, that's the whole point of Fit, Fine, and Fabulous. And when I say fit, it's more than just weight for me. It's more than just the pounds. It is seeing my body transform, not feeling aches and pains, having your knees hurt, your ankles hurt, or your elbows hurt, getting inflammation out of my body, or right now it lowered extremely. But being able to stretch, move around and not have these weird injuries that pop up, things like that. So when I say fit, it is way more than what the scale says. So being fit for me is vital, because when the body goes, everything follows it. Like when the mind goes, everything follows it. And I've been in situations where there was a year in my life where I was in and out of the hospital sick, and could not, we for a while, they could not figure out what was going on with me. And of course, because I'm a woman, they're talking about, oh, it's just in your mind, it's stress, blah, 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 blah. It was not, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. But I had to be very persistent and responsible and advocate for my own health care. So being fit also includes going to the doctor and getting checkups. So getting my blood work drawn, checking these hormone levels, see where I am, getting baseline testing done. So if something does go left, I can be able to pinpoint it and be able to advocate for myself and say to a doctor who may not listen, but right now, thank God, I have an amazing medical team. My OBGYN has left, and I'm freaking out because I need to have somebody that is just as good, if not better than she is. I have doctors who actually listen to me because I advocate for myself. I know what it's like to be in a doctor's office and not be heard, and you got something, your body, when something is out of whack, when something's wrong, and have people tell you that, oh, it's just stress. No. So I realize that there's some doctors or some healthcare professionals, unfortunately, and this is no knock to healthcare professionals. I was one. I worked in the medical field for over 16 years, so I get it. But there are great doctors, nurses, medical professionals, and there are some bad ones, just as in any industry that you go into. But I know that a lot of times when you have physical proof, you can't beat that. So if I'm coming to you with my blood pressure 120 over 80 and all of a sudden it's tanking or it's high, we know something's wrong. If I come to you and I've had a clean bill of health for the last 3 years and then all of a sudden I'm fatigued, we know something's going on. I need you to check my white blood count, check these red blood cells, what's happening. So getting blood work drawn, getting baseline numbers, getting tests done, that has been a part of me being fit. And I'm on the hunt right now for a holistic doctor, a functional medicine type doctor, because I really want to see my gut health. Like I want to look at my gut health. I want to look at Western type medical practices. Jeez, why did I get hung up on that word? But I want to look at Western type medical practices because they go at a holistic approach. So I want to see, how's my gut looking? How's my skin looking? Because the body will tell you, your body will tell you when something's popping off. You just got to know where you're starting. So that's a thing. I've been meeting with a financial planner because I realized, I'm getting up there in age. I don't want to be working my entire life. I want to be able to retire at some point. Now, that's not about to happen soon, but even in that, I don't know how long that will be. So working with a financial planner, I love how my financial planner puts this perspective. She doesn't say budget. So I don't have a budget. And the reason we don't say budget is because budget makes me cringe. That word sounds so restricting to me, and I will repel and I will rebel when I feel restricted. So she calls it a spending analysis. And I'm like, oh, I like that. Because spending analysis to me shows me that, yes, I can spend the money, but I'm spending the money in ways that are beneficial and helpful, and they're not causing me to be in financial ruin. So we go over my spending analysis. We were doing it monthly, but I was like, girl, this is a lot. Like this meeting you monthly, it's not conducive to my schedule. So we broke it up to every other month, which is great for me because that I think every other month gives me a better baseline of what I'm doing. And we look at areas that can be cut. We look at areas where I can improve. We look at areas where we can streamline. So cutting and streamlining are two different things. Cutting is we're gonna stop doing that altogether. Streamlining is where can we lower the cost of this thing or increase this thing. So we even broke up my savings. I love to travel, and one of my goals is to be in these travel streets a little bit more because traveling for me is so relaxing and it is a great reset for my mindset. So we have a travel spending plan and a travel savings. So I don't know about y'all, but I'm real bougie. I am very travel bougie. I have come to accept this about myself. I can't stay in hostels. Is that what they call? Hostels, hostels, however you say it. You're not going to catch me backpacking across Europe, at least not at the time of the recording of this podcast, because life can evolve and it can move quickly. I may change my mind about backpacking. Doubt it, because I'm very bougie. But I like to stay in nice places, and I have a list of preferred vendors, okay? My preferred vendors for airlines, transportation, hotels. Yeah, if you ever book me for a speaking engagement, which by the way, my books are open for 2025 and beyond, check the link in my bio on the social medias. There's even a link at the bottom of the show notes. My books are open. But if you book me for a speaking engagement and I have to go out of town, you're going to get my rider and it's going to say, these are the preferred airlines. This is the preferred seating class. Here's my my travel number. My what do you call it? The member number, whatever. Here are my preferred hotels. Here's my preferred room class. Now I'm not a diva or nothing, but you're not gonna have me come speak in New York and then I'm staying at a Roach Motel. That ain't happening. I don't live in a Roach Motel. Let me put it like this. I don't stay nowhere that's less than where I live on a daily basis, okay? So we have a spending plan for those moments like that, a spending analysis for those moments like that. So we're really deep diving into where I want to be at 50, where I want to be beyond 50. The way the world is happening right now, I'm really trusting in the Lord with all my heart and leaning not unto my own understanding and acknowledging him in all my ways so he can direct my path, and that includes money-wise. So I just want to be a good steward with what God has given me because I have not been a good steward in the past, and I'm working to change that right now. So I want to travel more. Traveling was something that we didn't get to do a lot when I was a kid. Now, my mom, God rest her soul. Actually, my mom's birthday is coming up on Friday at the time of the recording of this podcast. So I've been feeling some type of way, but we're not going to talk about that. But my mom, growing up in D.C., one of the things I loved about D.C. was so much culture was around us. There were people that would fly in from all over the world just to come and see the monuments. And my mom was very instrumental in me loving the arts and loving museums and things like that because she kept me in a museum, child. The Smithsonian, I know the Smithsonian hated to see us coming because it was like we were at the Smithsonian like every other week or so. But now those things are instilled in me. So whenever I do travel, I love going to art shows. I love going to museums. I love reading the history of a city. I love looking at architecture. So those are the things that I want to do more as I approach 50 and beyond. And some of those things cost money. So I have to put that in my spending analysis. So you see how that works? Another goal of mine, I really want to do this for 2025. I want to learn how to drive a boat. Yeah, I know. So where I live, there are a lot of lakes where I live. And I was on a retreat a couple weeks ago in this beautiful home, lakefront home, and they had a boat. And I was like, ooh, if I knew how to drive the boat, we can take the boat out for a little spin. So I want to get my boater's license. Yeah, it's getting a little too nippy to do that right now. But maybe like spring, maybe I'll do that for my birthday. Because I think it's like a 1 day class when you do it. So I think, yeah, I think I'm gonna get my boater's license. That should be my birthday gift to myself. Every year I get myself a gift for my birthday. And I think this year will be my boater's license. But anyway, yeah, I want to learn how to drive a boat. Not like Megan Thee Stallion, but an actual boat. I will be a captain. Can't you see me with a captain's hat on? That would be hilarious. I would have a whole outfit, be cute driving this boat. So I'm incorporating more travel. I'm incorporating more mental health days. I'm incorporating definitely more exercise and more health for me. What else that I want to do? So I'm really like, there's so many things that are. It may seem like a lot, and it may seem overwhelming. I'm not doing all of these things. Well, yeah, I guess I am doing all these things at once, but it's like they're all in sync. That's the better word. That's the word I'm looking for. They're all in sync because I am one being, but I'm multifaceted. I have a spiritual side. I have a human side. I have the physical needs that I need to work on. So all of these things are in sync that make up the one person who is me. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna put this out there. Uh, I'm gonna date a little more in 2025. I know, child. Oh, it's so. You know what? I said I'm gonna stop doing this. I'm gonna stop having this negative connotation about dating because I truly believe in the power of the tongue. Life and death is in the power of the tongue and in the mindset. So if I'm sitting here thinking that dating is so horrible, yes, I've had bad experiences, but I've also had good experiences with dating. And I realize right now that every person that I come in contact with may not lead me down the aisle because honestly, that's just crazy to even think that now that I think about it. But I do have boundaries. I do have qualities that I'm looking for, but I can't get those qualities if I'm sitting in the house. I have to get out of my introvert. I have to step out of my introvert. But also, I'm praying about my spouse. I haven't done that before. I know that sounds crazy, right? I know. But I also had to come to the conclusion that yes, I want to get married. I teeter-totter sometimes because sometimes I don't want to be bothered. But yes, I do have a desire to be married. I do have a desire to travel the world with my companion. And the only way I'm going to meet him, he's not going to show up at my house, I don't think. You know, anything's possible. God can do anything. But faith without works is dead. T. Get out there and date. So I've decided that I'm not going to do the dating apps anymore because, baby, that was an adventure in itself. But there are some quality people that I can meet. Like if I go join a running club, I may meet somebody at the run club. Or if I go out here and try pickleball, I may meet somebody that likes pickleball. You know, things like that. I need to do things that are interesting to me and just be open to meeting people. So, yeah, we're going to date a little bit more in 2025. Y'all hold me accountable with all this stuff, okay? Hold me accountable. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the hardest thing for me. I'm going to be honest. That's going to be the hardest thing because dating requires some vulnerability, and I realize that everyone doesn't deserve my vulnerable. Everybody's not a good fit for my vulnerable, but I'm keeping my options open. So if you're out there, sir, prepare, prepare for me as I prepare for you. But yeah, those are some of the things that I'm going to be doing on this journey to 50. I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to what God has in store. There are, like I said, a lot of changes going on in my personal life, work-wise, spiritually. This is just a lot, and a lot of things that I have not shared I'm not sure if I will share them, but there's a lot going on. And we're human beings, we're adults. There's always going to be something going on, but I have to make it a priority for me to prioritize me. So whenever life gets too intense, I have to have space to create and find peace and steal away and just be. I remember having a conversation with a friend of mine. He's a therapist, and he kind of knocked the wind out of my sail when he said this, but it was it was true. It was honest. It was a real good, honest conversation. He said to me, T, you don't know how to just be. You need to learn how to be a human being. You know, the word being means just be. You need to learn to just be. And I looked at him confused because I was like, what do you mean, just be? But now I'm learning how to just be. And I think being is a form of contentment. I'm very content with my life, but I'm not complacent. So I know that there are areas of growth and change, evolvement and development that I can improve upon. And I am now embracing those moments. Is it scary? Yeah. Is it worth it? Absolutely. So as I take this journey, I'm a little open book sometimes. I will be sharing this with my peeps, you all. And I would love to hear from you if you have decided to take this journey of some sorts, like fit, fine, and fabulous by whatever your age is. If you decide to take this journey, let me know. Hit me up on the socials. Hit me up in the text messages here on the podcast. Just let me know, because I can't be the only one that's like reevaluating life right now. I can't be. If I am, child, am I a unicorn? I don't, y'all don't leave me out here by myself. If you do, that's fine. I'm still going to take this journey, but I want to hear from you. Like, what are some things in your life that you are evaluating and looking at? Like, I could really change this. I can improve upon this. Or even if you have dormant dreams that you've just kind of set aside, or you felt like you weren't going to be able to accomplish them, like, just take the baby steps. Just keep swimming. Just do the little things that bring you joy. Do you even know what brings you joy? That's the question. Because what I found is a lot of people don't know what brings them joy. That's why I developed the joy itinerary. Like, we literally sit down and go through our lives like little kids. You know how kids can just find the smallest thing and be just happy and content with it? Where do we lose that? Is it when we first start having adult responsibilities? But I'm at the point now where I'm like, this childlike faith, this childlike, not mindset, but this childlike thinking, it's so fun. If I want to go out here and play hopscotch, I'll go get some chalk and write it on right in front of my house and just do hopscotch. And I'm pretty sure my little neighbor next door will come join me. But still, if I want to just stand up and just, put on a frilly dress and just twirl, I'm going to do that. So think about your life. What areas of your life do you want to change? It doesn't have to be many things. It can be just one thing. If you want to go back to school, boo. If you want to learn how to drive a boat, go take the lesson. Just go do it. You want to learn how to swim? Go take the swim lessons. Just do it. What are we afraid of? What's stopping us? You, yourself. So, yeah, I'm done fussing. I'm done fussing for this week, but I just want you to live life abundantly, live it empowered, live it in joy. It's enough craziness going on in this world as it is. Find your little slice of peace and work that thing, all right? Until next time, my dear, remember, God loves you, I love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it, boo. Bye.